What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 45 of Lyon Live here in Football Manager 2019. Hopefully you guys are doing good today. We're back once more, of course. On your screen, you can see the club's new record transfer and highest earner, Kingsley Coman. If you missed yesterday's episode and you don't know why he's on your screen, do go check it out. I enjoyed some of the memes and kind of posts regarding this to do with me, basically asking the board to sign someone and then being shocked about the fact that they actually went and did it. I'll be honest, I think that Kingsley Coman is an absolutely insane addition to our squad, and the fact he's French is a big Brucey bonus. I would put him up with the likes of Jadon Sancho and Vinicius Jr. in terms of the kind of calibre of player we're looking at out wide. I think the fact he's young and French is a massive, massive bonus. It does leave me with a little bit of a headache because realistically it would be good to move on Bertrand Traoré or Depay. So with that in mind, I'm going to try and offer out Bertrand Traoré this time for £45 million and just see if anyone is interested. Unfortunately, with the season being underway, it means that the Premier League transfer window has closed. Obviously, there are other leagues in Europe where the transfer window is still going to be open. But the reality is that in terms of expecting and perhaps hoping for bids on some of our players, it's kind of unlikely, but we're going to do our best. I'm also going to offer out Depay and hope that both him and Bertrand Traoré don't kick up too much of a fuss. Ideally, probably one of them does need to get moved on. Whilst we are now, you can see, massively over the wage budget thanks to the new addition, I'm not too overly concerned, just because we're sat with £89 million in the bank. Like, money is still in a very, very good position here. It's not something to be too concerned about. Anyway, let's get into today's first game of the episode. It's against Guingamp, who are in third. Of course, only 2 games of the season played, so we're not going to overanalyse that too much. But, so far, 2 wins in 2. We want to keep it going. They're unbeaten. We're unbeaten. The chances are that that is going to end for someone today. Will it be them or will it be us? That is the question that will hopefully be answered. In terms of team news, we're pretty much at full strength. So, well, the squad doesn't really change a great deal. Of course, we've got plenty of rotation in our team capable for us. But I do feel like with this game in the league, we've had a week's break. We should be going into this game sharp and hopefully getting a good result. You can see, just quickly, in terms of games today, we've got games against Guingamp, Toulouse, Bordeaux, and I think we'll also do that first game of the Champions League group stage. The draw is yet to be made for that, so we don't know who we're going to be playing yet. And you can't see it on screen, but my Football Manager has just crash dumped. Well, I'm going to have to reopen the game, and we'll just go into the game immediately, I guess. I'll be back in a second. Okay, folks, so apologies for that crash. It's the first one we've had in 2 seasons, and I'll tell you now, it's not even the game's fault. It's actually my own fault. Obviously, we have my custom skin, the TCS skin. I will try and remember to link to the Twitter for the skin down below. It's made by Tom, who's just an incredible skinner. We've got a new release coming up, and I was looking at some bugs and potential issues with it, just to make sure there weren't any. Hopefully, the new version will be up this weekend. Because I was on the new version of the skin and then I switched back, I needed to make sure to clear my cache and reload my skin, and as a result, it crashed because it was looking at some stuff that the new version of the skin references. But yeah, if you want to get a preview of the new skin and all that jazz, do go check out the Twitter, and hopefully this time we're not going to get crashing going into the game because I've reloaded the cache and cleared it, and there we go. Here we are in game. Right, Guingamp, where were we? Let's get back into the swing of things. They are playing a deep 4-2-3-1. They're playing Shadas out on the right wing. Not his natural position, but we'll keep an eye on our loanee to see how he gets on. I feel like, to be honest, most eyes are going to be on Kingsley Coman here. Playing for, a French club for the first time in a little while. Let's see how he does for us. He's going to be playing out on the left-hand side. Depay's been dropped. It's just dawned on me that with that crash, I've now not offered out Bertrand Traoré and Depay prior to the game. I will do that after the game. But yeah, there's a new version of the skin coming out. It's going to be cool. It fixes a lot of issues. Lots of little improvements as well. And yeah, you can find it on Twitter. If you search TCS, 3 letters, I'm sure you'll find it. And hopefully we can have a bit more luck now for the rest of the episode. Hopefully that crash is the worst thing we're going to see today and there's going to be no losses whatsoever. But anyway, let's see how we do get on here. It's a big game for us. It's a big day. Can we get off to a fly? Goebbels hits the crossbar. Oh my, how has that gone in? What has just happened? I mean, There is going to be an inquiry about match fixing, I think. But what was that? Was that a defensive clearance attempt here? I mean, answers on a postcard. I want to look. It looks like he's actually gone for a fancy flick. I need to go behind the goal. I need to see this. What does Traore do? Let's lower the speed a little. Right, playback. So Gabel's heads it. It hits the crossbar and bounces out. Then what does... You think Gabel's is going to get there? Traore's there like, no. I mean, he's hit the other defender on the head. Okay, that makes more sense. I couldn't tell that from the original highlight. That is an incredible, incredible goal. Probably the best goal I've seen in FM this year. The fancy flick onto his own defender's head. I think it might have even been Marcelo, our former man, who did the flick. What a player. Agent Marcelo coming big for us yet again. But, well, not too bad a way to start the game, I guess. We'll take that after 3 minutes. Hopefully now before half-time we can get 1 or 2 more. That would be ideal, I feel like. Obviously, as you guys watch this video, you might be aware it's going up later than usual uploads. It's just the way that things work out. At weekends, uploads are always tricky to time around football. And just as a reminder now, I want to say it before I get too far into the video, just so you guys can remember, there is no episode tomorrow on Sunday as I record this. And additionally, just as a little bit of a heads up, for the next 2 weeks, there is only going to be episodes on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. There is another series that's a shorter term one that will be going on in between. It's a Bottom at Christmas challenge. I've talked about this before, but Easter is a busy period for me. I've not got a load of time to do videos. And as a result, I'm just kind of spacing out the uploads a little bit more. I know it's not going to please everyone. Ultimately, guys, I am human. I do have a life. And yeah, I feel like recording, well, basically 6 videos in advance in the space of a couple of days for you guys is about as many as I could do before the quality starts to drop. So that's the plan there. Anyway, let's see how we do get on here. Ndombele. We need goals. Bertrand Traore. Where's Kingsley? Where is Kingsley? Gabel's. Kingsley could get there. He does get there. He scores on his debut. I'm a genius. I mean, I hope now he can be as good as Moise Kean was in terms of value for money. Granted, for £72 million, you expect more than just a goal on the debut in terms of his career performance. But he used his pace and acceleration to get there. He was like a drag racer there, just 0 to 100 in no time at all to latch on the end of it. 2 shots on a booking. Let's play things safe and bring in Lucas Romero. I'm going to bring in Aouar as well, I think. And I'm going to bring in... Actually, no, do I want to bring in Aouar? You know what? I do. We're going to go with the triple change. We're going to bring on Aouar, Romero and Trincao. Just to get them some game time. Obviously, it's going to be crucial that we do give the younger players plenty of first-team football. You know, we have some fringier kind of youth players who aren't so important to me, who I'm perhaps doing the Chelsea approach with in terms of loaning them out, although they're all getting regular first-team football pretty much in our own division. But there are very much, you know, players in their early 20s, in their teens, who are good enough for our first team, and I am trying to make them regulars in the team, and that's what we're doing in bringing them on here. Anyway, Mendy crosses it, back post. Trincao's there, nods it almost back into the danger area. Cleared as far as Aouar. At 2 goals up, we're comfortable now, but if they were to get a goal back, it would get a little bit uncomfortable perhaps. In terms of match stats, we have been the better team by far and away, but we've not scored a great deal. And while they've got a chance here, that shot not far wide of the post at all in the end. But, well, that is the closest apparently they've come to endangering our goal. And if that's how dangerous they've been, I'm not too concerned about the last 5 minutes here. If we could get a 3rd goal, that would be ideal just to make this super comfortable. But it looks like now we are going to run out victors against Guingamp. Little kind of good performance really considering their league position. We'll take it. We will take that at the end of the day. A win is a win. It might not be the most convincing one, but 3 wins on the bounce. You can't do better than that to start the season. And well, there might be a chance here. The ball there had serious curl on it. Somehow, I thought Lenge was going to get to it. Unfortunately, he could not. Maybe still time here. Trincao whips it in. Gabel's Fekir. Could we get a goal? There's a minute left. It feels unlikely. Lucas Rivera has a go. Oh my gosh. I mean, I got a little bit excited. I thought back to his long shot from last year, the one that hit the crossbar and went in, the volley. That was a very memorable goal in Football Manager terms. Didn't quite replicate it there, but it's not going to matter, is it? It's 2-0. It's game over. A third win on the bounce for us is massive. Coman getting another goal. I say another goal. His first goal. He'll get another before too long. But his first goal at the club on his debut is massive. Clean sheet to boot. I mean, the only thing that could have improved this match would be if we didn't crash dump right at the beginning. But no, that is a good little performance. I am very happy, boys. More of the same, please, going forward. You can see ourselves, Dijon and Arver are the only teams with these perfect records to start things. Coman makes a return to French football, of course. Former PSG youngster, went to Juve, went to Bayern. We've bought him for a little bit of money, but he has scored on his debut, so that's good enough for me. Terrier got an assist for Lille. Ferreira played 17 minutes for Brest. Owusu played a decent chunk of time for Strasbourg. Marin, not the best appearance for him, but he did play plenty of football. And same for Shadas as well. No standout performances in terms of our loanees during that round of fixtures, but at the same time, they're all getting match football. They're all getting first team football, which is massive for their development. Anyway, we're in a bit of a weird situation now because I just have no money to spend on players. So with that in mind, we're just going to go towards the Toulouse game, which, well, in between then and now, we do actually have the Champions League group stage draw. So that's something else, I guess, to look forward to here. Anyway, they're likely to play a quite defensive system. They're currently 6th in the league, so they're not doing too bad at all. Maximilio Levera was one of those players we were looking at last time out. I think he has a release clause in his contract. He does. It's a very small one as well. 9 million is not particularly big for a player of his quality, but we already have so many attacking midfielders. I had someone on yesterday's video mention, why don't you sign someone like Havertz or Julian Brandt? And, well, in terms of centre attacking mids, we've got Aouar, we've got Fekir, we've got Shadas, who's out on loan, we've got Olmo. There's just not really a spot where it would make sense to bring him in. I was actually struggling more in terms of wide options than anything else, which is why Coman was a player who I was willing to request to sign. Granted, I requested to sign him without really giving it a second thought and considering actually maybe the wages will be a bit of a problem. Bruno Eze we could potentially loan to Paris FC. He'd be a key player for them. What league are they in? They're in the 2nd division. Who's their current first choice centre mids? They've got this guy, Manduki. I mean, I don't see a world in which he's like a regular key player for them. Additionally, I think we're already at the limit in terms of players who can be loaned out. Let's just double check this. So, I believe the limit is 7. And we currently have 8 out on loan, but 1 is at Porto and Gravenberch. Have we got match reports coming in on him? With us not having the Portuguese league loaded, the games aren't simulated in as much detail, but he will at least get football there. What is the limit on loans? I remember checking it last year. I'll be down at the bottom. Loan rules: maximum of 7 players allowed out on loan in a domestic club, 2 domestic-based clubs. So yeah, we can't actually loan anyone else to French clubs. So we're not going to concern ourselves with it. I do feel like we've managed to loan out the high-priority players. The young players who I really want to get regular football. So that's good stuff. Paulie here, he's wanted. I kind of just want him off the wages. They want us to contribute a little bit towards his wages. It's a tiny amount. I'm not going to concern myself with that. More loans for players who I can't loan out. Georgialin, he's decided he's happy at the club. Why are you happy? Nimmer no longer interested. I mean, will you now sign a new contract as a backup? No, because you're transfer listed. But now that you don't want to leave, maybe you don't want to be transfer listed anymore. Maybe we can put this all behind us and you can just be our 3rd choice homegrown goalkeeper. That would be good, wouldn't it? That would be really good. Whether or not that's actually going to happen, I doubt it somehow. Right, let's remember we wanted to loan out Bertrand Traoré. The issue is that PSG are the team interested in him and I'm not convinced they're going to want to bid that much on him. The other player I would like to offer out is Depay. Both these guys do have, you might remember, buyback clauses with their kind of current, well, their former clubs in Juventus and Chelsea. And with us now having Kingsley Coman in, if we could move one of them on, it would probably be in our interest. No interest in either player, so I'm not going to concern myself too much with forcing them out of the club. It's a good problem to have in terms of having too many really talented wide players. So, yeah, I'm not going to concern myself too much with it. We're in a good little spot, I feel like, is what you can say. When you look at our overall kind of squad balance now, 26 players, it's not a massive first team by any means, but it's a well-rounded first team that has plenty of coverage, I feel like, in all the key positions. Barring only the biggest kind of injury, the worst injury look in the world, would we have problems? And if we were to, we've got players like Nkunku who could come in and be a very versatile centre mid as a backup for us. Francisco Ramos, another player who we brought in on a free transfer who could be a good little centre mid if we did need that squad depth. In fact, when you look at these guys, they're more than good enough, I feel like, to be players we can call upon. We've got other players who we've loaned out, but I want to see them getting regular first-team football. You're talking about players like Shadas, Maxi here, who unfortunately has picked up a little bit of a hamstring strain and is out for a few weeks yet. But beyond him, obviously, Terrier, Kanate, these are all players in their early 20s. Kanate coming back from a long-term hip injury. He was out for 3 months, hence a bit of a decline on him. But yeah, players like Terrier as well. These are players who, they need regular first-team football to stand a chance of developing. You can see Gravenberch on loan at Porto is doing well. Antonio Marin, would like to see him improve a little bit more. But make no mistake, we're in a good position in terms of players for the future. And we do have a little bit of squad depth if we do need it. Anyway, we've been awarded £13 million there. It takes our kind of club balance to over £100 million. I still want to ask the board for more transfer budget. I know we've spent a massive amount on Coman. But I feel like when you actually look at the transfer history, our net spend this year is what, £32 million? Last year our net spend was, well, even less than that, 16 million. Like, we've not spent a massive amount of money when you consider the prize money we've got in. There's just been massive sums of cash, that we've generated. And despite, obviously, Coman coming in, we have a larger squad full of more valuable players. I realise I've skipped over the draw here. We've got Tottenham, Fenerbahce and Krasnodar. That's a pretty good group. Tottenham aren't easy. They won the Champions League 2 years ago. But we did knock them out of the competition last year. So, yeah, I apologise for skipping over the draw there. I just wasn't paying attention really as I mashed continue. But it's a good draw. It's a good draw. I'm happy with it. We're in a great chance of progressing. Given the large turnover of your squad in the last couple of seasons, you feel you've earned your reputation as a manager always looking to do a deal. I'll let you guys in the chat describe that, and in the comments kind of say if you think I'm a bit of a wheeler dealer. Yeah, we're always building for the future. Things can happen quickly. Press conferences. Man, that group's a bit of a group of death, isn't it? Madrid, PSG, Milan, Bruges. Feel bad for Bruges there. Right, let's just continue mashing forward, shall we? We've got Toulouse next. They're in 6th, so they're a team going strong. At least strong at this very early stage of the year. I will say we have spent now more money on Coman than PSG did on Pogba, which makes my business feel a little bit more questionable. Although Pogba's wages, I imagine, are significantly higher there. Markovic is developing pretty well, which is good. He was on loan last year, which helped his development. I was a little bit concerned in the back of my mind, I guess, that with him not being out on loan, perhaps not playing regular first-team football, it wouldn't be assuring that he would continue his development. But it looks like he is going to continue to improve, at least at the moment. Anyway, 3 players on international duty being called up. Lucas Romero, Eder Militao and Wallace. Have we got an international break in here? We have. I didn't even realise. We should be able to get through it fairly quickly, I hope, today. But anyway, this is the team we're going to go with. I think, do I want to rotate the team a little bit? You know what? We'll bring in Depay. And then we'll play him out on the left. And we'll try Coman out on the right, I think. Part of me is tempted to do something I never, ever normally do. But it could work quite nicely with this system. Do I want to do it? That's the question. I'm just wondering if I want to give him personalised instructions to do things a little bit differently. I wonder. See, I just want to do it for him. Do we try him as a winger? Though I only want it to be used for him. Thinking about it, I've not done... Well, I have done them, but not recently. Like these personalised instructions. I kind of want to just try Coman as a winger out on the right. With the Mazzara as well, that might actually work quite nicely. Obviously, with him being right-footed and with him having pretty good crossing and not the best finishing, it kind of makes sense to make the most of his aerial kind of, well, not his aerial ability, but his crossing ability, and with the aerial ability of Gabel's as well. It kind of just makes a lot of sense. Anyway, let's see how this works for us. We're going to try a winger out on the right, Depay in on the left. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to move on Bertrand Traore or Depay. From a financial perspective, we really don't need to move anyone on. Like, the club has more money than when I joined the team. Like, the money is just very healthy right now. The Coman deal, whilst it's a crazy sum of money, it's not something that's that we couldn't afford. I mean, Fekir's a man on a mission there. Coman out wide. Can we score from kickoff? That would be the dream, wouldn't it? Hacked clear. I mean, surely not. I want to believe. Mendy. Blocked cross, goes straight to the keeper. That'll be the end of the highlight then. But no, not a bad start. We start on the front foot, at the very least. Now we have a chance here, maybe. Coman fouled in the back, but he got the pass off. Now with Toussaint. Have a go. Why not? Goes to Mendy. Back to Toussaint. Fekir now. Toussaint. Nice, patient build-up play, but we need to find a pass through the centre. Ndombele tries to cross it in. It's blocked away. Just can't quite seem to eke out that final ball just yet. Toussaint now with the ball. Tries to pick out Mendy. Unsuccessfully, and now, well, you can see here Toulouse, they want to break. We've not come here to lose, though. We're going to give them a good game and try and win. Oh my gosh, that's an insane goal by Max Gradle, and perhaps punishment for the pun that I just used. Do you get punishment? We've not come here to lose. Okay. I mean, maybe they definitely deserve the goal because of that. Gradle, what a finish that is, by the way. They've hit us on the break. They've scored. Part of me's like, maybe I should play the controlling style of play, but we're already having 60% of the ball. It's just a case of if they keep hitting us on the break, then we might get a little bit more conservative with our attacking play. But, well, we've got a chance here. Maybe Gabel's. What a run that is, unfortunately. The finish at the end of it, just a teeny tiny bit lacking in the end. It wasn't the best effort on goal, was it? Let's be honest. Anyway, 22 minutes gone. They're a goal up, and we're really not looking that great. Let's change to the controlling style of play. My assistant thinks we should encourage a more direct style of play. No. I want us to work the space more. I want us to get into the centre more. I want us to try and create, really good opportunities. Go to man more here for the last 7 minutes of the half. It's been a very, very poor first half as far as we are concerned. We've had chances against Toulouse. Oh my god, he's red. It's a red. It's Ndombele, you've gone. What has he done? Why would you do that? In terms of what we do now, I think we have to switch Fekir to a deep line playmaker. We'll keep Coman on this switched role that's automatically put him on of an inside forward. I'm going to need the wing-backs to get forward a little bit more here, I think, and provide the width. Man, being a man down always makes things very tricky, and it's just a silly tackle by Toussaint. Not by Toussaint, sorry, by Ndombele. Completely unnecessary. Definitely hamstrings us a little bit. Weirdly, I noticed there on the rolls along the bottom of the screen, between highlights, it was showing Coman as still playing as a winger. I wonder if that's a bug with FM or if that's a visual bug with the panel itself. I feel like that's a bug with FM, I'm not sure. I can't be certain. But if anyone in Football Manager, anyone at Football Manager watches my videos, Sports Interactive, Coman here is listed as a winger. I had him as a winger on a personalised instruction. He's now automatically switched to an inside forward as part of my system. If I now switch it to inside forward on attack, will it update? No. Maybe it's a panel bug then. Either that or he is just randomly stuck on winger. And it's just a visual thing where the tactics screen isn't updating. Oh, okay. I moved him back and then back again and he then switched to a winger. I don't think that is a skin-related issue in terms of unique to the skin that I'm using here. I think you could probably reproduce that in the main game. Weird. Either way, it's sorted now. Although it says he's playing as a winger. Oh, that's... Can I not play him as an inside forward? Do I need to... Maybe... If I go to him here... Then edit instructions. Although, personalised. Inside. I'm going to change him to an inside forward on attack. Does this now update? You know what? I don't know the answer to what's screwing up. It could be the panel. It could be the game itself. The panel isn't an official Football Manager in the game one, in which case it's a skin issue. But if it's not that, then it's a bit of a bigger problem. Anyway, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to bring in Bertrand Traore for Depay, who's had a poor game. And I'm going to bring in Ken for Griffis, who's been a little bit lacklustre at the back. Probably need to go very attacking here to try and make something happen. We're going to maybe work the ball higher up. Now Coman switched to a winger on attack. Even though we've got... I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the game's doing at this point. How can I get things more attacking here? I've almost got to just switch to Fekir here to an advanced playmaker on attack and then play Toussaint on support. We've got to commit more men higher up the pitch, really, in an attempt to get something here. But being a man down, you're always going to leave yourself exposed by going more attacking. The mad thing is, despite being a player down, we've had 59% of possession across the game. And we have been the team with chances. And we've got another one here. Mendy to Traore. Tries to get the ball in. It's blocked away as far as Toussaint. He puts it wide now to Mendy. Who crosses it and Kien's there. What a save that is by the keeper. It was a free kick. I guess Kien was offside maybe. I mean, whatever it was, it's seen us denied. Anyway, we've got to go more direct here. We've got to go more direct. We've got to hit early crosses. We've got to try and create something. I mean, we're already on very, very attacking. There's not a great deal to do here. I guess distribute over opponent defence would be an option. Let's just hoof the ball up to our fast players. But yeah, no time really left here. The man down, I think, did affect us quite heavily. You would say when you look at the stats for this game, despite the fact we were a man down, we probably didn't deserve to lose it, at least just when you look at the numbers as they were. Ultimately, though, a moment of brilliance from Max Gradle's the difference maker and a pretty disappointing first loss of the season as well. There were a few players who didn't have the best games. I did notice that out wide, we just didn't have the best game in general. But, you know, Traore and Kien came on, didn't do a great deal. And you look here, Depay and Griffis didn't play great. Coman, 6.5 for him. I do feel like the sending off did play a bit of a role in that. And, well, Ndombele, you are a very, very naughty boy, my friend. I expected better from him, and he has let me down a little bit. He's banned for one game. It was a bad tackle. Referee's decision was justified. I'm going to fine him a week's wages. He accepts the fine. Marin for Nice played a full game and got a goal. That is good news there. Durand playing in goal for Lyon as they drew with Monaco. I mean, fair play. Look how much he's improving. Regular first-team football for a 16-year-old in our own division is mad. Shadas played well, got a goal himself. Owusu didn't get a goal but did play the full game. Ferreira got an assist. I mean, everyone's just playing. The whole gang's getting regular first-team football. I really want to ask the board for more money, but I'm not going to be able to, I don't think, before the window closes in, well, 48 hours' time, yes. I feel like hopes are fading on any kind of more money being injected in. Although, I think our finances are in a better situation than they were when we asked the board to go and sign Moise Kean. Which is a little odd when you think about it. Maybe we'll just ask the board to sign someone else. Maybe that will just become the recurring theme of this save. By the end, we'll just have an entire starting 11 made up of players who were picked up by our board. I'm going to decline to take part in deadline day. Guiri on loan at Monaco. Are they building up his match sharpness? He has not played a lot, has he? I was hoping he'd get regular first-team football at Toulouse. Is he even in their first team? He is in their first team, so hopefully he will start to get a little bit of game time. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that front if anything actually materialises. We've got loan offers here, but it's for players that we can't loan out. So let's just reject all of those. Paul is leaving us. Goodbye, Paul. I don't remember ever talking about him, but he's just a distinctly average early player in his early 20s. Offers us nothing that we don't already have. More loan offers that I can't accept. Part of me feels like I should just put reject all loan offers on these players, but I know I'd forget to remove the reject all loan offers kind of option for resulting seasons, which I don't want to forget, funnily enough. Brest have made an offer for Melvin Bard. Part of me's like, maybe I should just move him on and get a little bit of money for him. There is part of me that worries that we don't have that many left-backs in the reserve team, so we would actually be leaving a bit of a gap in our reserves. He has also played 3 games, although Ndika Matam would probably be the player to play more regularly as a result of his departure. Is he ever going to be good enough for the first team? I mean, being realistic, probably not. Let's just sell him on. Can I ask the board for any more money? No. Can we ask the board to sign anyone? I mean, look at that, boys. We're quids in. We've got 40 grand in the bank. Moussa Dembele, transfer listed for 117 million. We can't ask the board to sign him. I feel like having granted our request previously, it's unlikely that any of these players will actually be able to ask the board to try and sign. Again, as a reminder, we have like £100 million just sat in the bank right now. De Jong here's had a loan offer for him. We're going to keep him at the club. I'd rather just play him in the reserves. See what he can do for us, the right midfielder. I mean, I'm looking forward to deadline day coming and going so that we're not having to worry about these loan offers that we keep getting. Offer for Colley's been rejected. DJ's not available for loan. Gananon, not available for loan. Dib, no. Maybe I should just select it to automatically reject all loan offers for these players. You'd think there'd be an option to just like automatically reject the loan offers for players once you're over the domestic limit. Or at least it to tell you like, hey, this player's not going to be able to play if he goes out on loan. Right, DJ, reject all loan offers. Griffis. I don't want to sell it. I want to sell him, not loan him out. Because he's on a lot of money as well. £8,500. Let's just offer him out for nothing. He's an okay player, don't get me wrong, but he's on far too much for what he actually offers us. De Jong, reject all loan offers. They've broken me emotionally. I'm rejecting all. How's Aneda done since he joined us? He's doing okay. He's doing okay. He's going to be a very, very good player, I hope, in the future. He looks top draw, doesn't he? 17 years old. In some ways, I almost want to put him in the first team. How does he compare to DJ? I mean, let's be honest. He's really not that far off DJ and he's 4 years younger. That's mad. That is actually mad. I'm always tempted to move him up to the senior team, but then just have him available for the reserves. Let's do that. That would also give me the option, when it comes to mentoring units, to include him in one. Although you can see here, we've got an incomplete unit at the moment. Let's bring in Aneda and add him in. He is fairly determined. He's got 17 determination. Gabels has 15. Moise Keane has 15. So there is a chance they might negatively affect him. I'll tell you what. I do quite like... Where is it? I've lost him now. Where's Coman? I liked the look of Coman because he's ambitious. And he has more of an influence than Keane. What's his development like? His determination like it's 14. That's not that great. Do we have any kind of super determined, kind of more attacking players, a bit more experienced? Depay, 14 determination on him. Lucas Romero, not the same position. He has 16. Bertrand Traore. We don't have the most determined squad, to be fair. Saint Maximin. His is awful. Toussaint. I mean, in many ways, it makes absolutely no sense to have Toussaint in this group. The other option is to add Fekir in. I don't know. The ambitious personality would be good to kind of pass on. Even if it means a little bit of a decline in determination. I'm not overly concerned about that. We have other players with good determination elsewhere in the team. Is there any other super young players who I might want to get tutored? Maybe we could get a centre-back partnership kind of deal going for Markovic. If we had Lenglet, who's perfectionist, that could be good. Markovic. I don't know how much of an impact it'll have on Gananon, to be honest. I feel like Eden Militão's probably too significant in the first team anyway. Yeah, you can see here. Average impact on both of those. That kind of works. Spirited isn't bad at all. Perfectionist would be a good little personality to have on him. Does Wallace have anything kind of particularly good? 15 determination. What's Markovic's determination right now? 14. You know what? There's probably no harm in having Wallace in there as well now I think about it, just to have a bit more of an impact. I just wonder if there's any other kind of super young players who it would be worth promoting to then have tutored. How's Felly developed recently? Pretty well. He looks very, very good as a defensive midfielder option. Who else have we got in terms of potential? Auger. Maybe he's worth bringing in and just having tutored by Fekir. So with these players, whilst I'm promoting them, I am also making them available for the reserves at the same time. So it gives me the benefit of the fact I can kind of get them in these tutor groups to hopefully help them a little bit. But equally, they should still get some fairly regular football, I hope, through the reserves. Although you can see here, looking at the reserves, how many games have we even played in reserve league so far? 3. Won 1, drawn 2. I'm hoping that a few of the younger players will get game time. But you can see here the actual appearances. Some of the super young players haven't got that much. Granted, most of them are available, if I'm not mistaken, for the under-19s as well. So it's not a massive concern, really. So we've got Aneda, we've got Auger. De Jong, would he be worth including? He probably would be. His determination isn't the greatest. Let's move him to the senior team, then make him available for the reserves. We'll keep an eye on these players in the coming weeks and just see if they play regular first team football with the reserves. If they don't, I'll make them available for the under-19s instead. But, well, if we just look here, is this not updated now? Do I need to wait for these players? Or is it because they're not registered for the league? I didn't think I needed to register them. Watford have made an offer for Rio Griffis, but they want me to contribute £2,000 to his wages. How long's left on his current contract? 1.5 years, 2 years. I'd rather get rid of him with no strings attached if possible. Let's just go back and look at mentoring here. Okay, now I can add the players in. So for the wide group, we will add in De Jong. Like so. And then Auger, I'm going to add to the centre mid crew. That's their official title, by the way, the centre mid crew. Yeah, we don't really have any super experienced strikers. Without players like Key now and Gabels. Although to be fair, they're in pretty good shape in terms of how much they're developing and their mental. So I'm not overly concerned about that. Reject all loan offers. Michael, again, like I just can't accept these loan offers. I've now resorted to rejecting all. I've had my patience tried and I failed the patience test. So they're just not available anymore here. Anyway, the transfer window should be closing sooner rather than later. I do hope. You can see some late deadline deals being done, but nothing massive. Chadley, 1.8 million. That seems like a bargain. That's pretty good money in terms of, I feel, value in the market. More loan offers that we can't accept. We can't loan out Gronley, although I would like to sell Gronley on, really. Just offers nothing to our team that we don't already have. Kind of just eating up a potential starting spot for one of our key players. Had an offer from Tours for him, so we'll accept that. He's the kind of player who could turn out to be quite good for a smaller team, but for us he's just never going to be quite good enough. I don't think there's anyone else who we need to move on desperately here, to be honest. In terms of wages, is there anyone we're paying massively too much for? I guess Lenny Pintor. It's a shame because I think in the January update, this guy's probably had a pretty significant upgrade to his ability. But in Football Manager, at least at the start of the game, he just didn't have that greater ability. I know in real life he's considered quite a hot prospect for the future. Griffis is still a player who I'd like to sell. Let's remove and exclude wage contribution from the negotiations. I really hope Guerrieri gets a bit more football on Toulouse, for Toulouse rather. Griffiths has had an offer of nothing for Watford. We will accept that. He won't join them until January due to how things kind of work out. So Gronley's leaving the club. Can we ask the board for more money? No. I think the dream's dead in terms of that happening. Can we ask them to make any signings for us? It doesn't look like it at the moment. Just clicking on a few players who our scouts have suggested. Maybe longer term. Maybe longer term. You know, give it a week after the transfer window closes. They'll be all over the idea of signing another player. My board can't help themselves. I will say, whilst I'm going on about the board signing players, make no mistake, I will be a lot more hesitant and I will second guess myself and overthink any potential click of the assistant please sign this player button, or board please sign this player button rather. Anyway, we should scout the Champions League, just all players. European Under-20s Elite League, yes, we would like to scout that for hot prospects. Same for the Under-19s Champions Cup, I think. Some good competitions to keep an eye on, in my opinion. I'm hoping that we can solve Lenglet's unhappiness. Fakir appreciates that we didn't get any offers good enough for him. That's good news. Stadium expansion has finished, so we've got an extra 4,000 seats now. Hopefully that is going to result in some more money for us. Anyway, we now have a chance to register our squad for Europe. I'm not sure how many players here we're going to be able to get away with not registering. I think we're going to be right up against the limit, although Gabels we don't need to register because he's been at the club for 2 years, including his first stint at the club. Interesting that that counts towards that contribution. I didn't think it would. But it does, and we're not going to complain about it. Aneda and De Jong, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to include you guys in the inclusions there. Dani Olmo, Bertrand Traore. I mean, actually, looking at it, we pretty much have a perfectly sized squad for this. We can get in all the kind of key players who you'd want to have included. Gabels gets in by the virtue of the fact that he is under the age of 21. And additionally, the 3 other players are just youngsters who we've promoted into the team for mentoring reasons and just to get them training with the first team. Glenn Kamara is unhappy that we've not tried to sell him. I mean, mate, I literally offered you out for £3 million. I had your transfer listed for a month. No one bid on you. No one wants you. No one wants you, Glenn. I'm sorry. I didn't want to be the one to tell you this, but they're just not that into you. Moise Keane's made his debut for Italy a little bit later than he did it in real life in the year 2020, but well, you can see here he's improved a lot, and will hopefully continued exposure to international football is only going to help his development further. Saint Maximin has won his first cap, which is good news for him. Kind of surprised that he got it, to be fair, but he's proven himself to be a very, very good French player. If we just look at the national team here in terms of clubs, 4 players of ours in the national team: Ndombele, Saint Maximin, Coman and Fakir. That is, I mean, a pretty good reason to be excited. If we look at the under-21s, we've got 2 players in Aouar and Gabels in the team. Under-20s, another 2 players in Auger and Voisin Verdier. There, I mean, how could you not be excited about those 2? And then in the under-19s, do we have any players? We have 3. We have Aboul, who I still think could turn into a really class striker for us this year. Really, he should be in the reserve team, but then be made available for the under-19s if he is called upon. Who's the other players here? Marc Vincent. He looks very, very solid. If he's injury prone a little bit, it's a little bit scary, that. And Felhi answers on a postcard. He looks solid as well, to be fair to him. He's a little bit more limited in his play, but he's only 16. Plenty of time for him to develop into a really well-rounded centre mid, if you ask me. Anyway, the more I think about today's episode, guys, I think we're only going to be able to do the Bordeaux game. I didn't realise there was an international break What that will mean is that we can start with a big Champions League tie, kind of next time out. You can see here, Gravenberch played for the Dutch under-21s. Depay got injured in international duty for 5 to 7 days. That could have been a lot worse, I guess. But yeah, actually, let's just check. What is the order of our Champions League games? What are we going to be starting with next time out? Fenerbahce at home, then Tottenham away. That is, well, the Fenerbahce game I expect us to win, but Tottenham away is the trickiest of the games I think that we've got here. So that's not going to be easy necessarily, but we'll do our best and, well, we'll just see how we crack on, won't we? Anyway, Bordeaux down in 15th is the next game. Plenty of time for us to hopefully recover coming into this. Granted, with players on international duty, there's always the risk that they come back a little bit leggy, a little bit tired. Hopefully that won't be something we need to concern ourselves with. Rashford, have we got match reports on Rashford? I guess we have from when we loaned him in. He's actually stayed at United this year. It'll be interesting to see if he plays much for them at all. Of course, he just barely played for us last year. Had a lot of injuries to contend with, and with the emergence of some youngsters like Trincao just doing so well, it just didn't really put us in a situation where it ever warranted playing him. I do feel like, and I can't speak in terms of after the January update, but in terms of in Football Manager, Marcus Rashford is not necessarily underrated, but he just doesn't ever seem to turn out that good. I realise that makes it sound like I'm taking a really sly dig at him by saying Football Manager is not unrealistic, but he's not really that good. What I mean is I feel like he very regularly in Football Manager prior to the January update, which I can't speak for because I've not really looked at him that much, but he doesn't feature in the United team regularly like he has this season in real life. Right, I think I dug myself out of a hole there. I don't want to rile up the United fans. Although I am a Liverpool fan, I am capable of swallowing my pride and praising Manchester United and some of their players from time to time. Anyway, Lenglet is going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. That's not the best injury in terms of news for us. Griffis has rejected a contract from Watford. Of course he has. I bet he was being greedy about it and wanted way more money than they were willing to pay. But the Lenglet injury is an interesting one. In terms of what it means, I think it means that we bring Nanon onto the bench and then we'll have Markovic playing regularly. Bit of a test for the young Serb, but I'm hoping he's going to come up trumps for us and show us a glimpse of the form he showed Auxerre last year during his kind of campaign with them, because he did do very, very well. Anyway, Ignacio Perez has finished his intensive language course. That is good news with him. We are still training this guy to play centre mid on defence. You can see his jumping reach has gone on up to 16. If his heading was a little bit better than 8, he would be an insane centre-back. I still wonder if I'm missing a trick by not training him to play centre-back. I don't know, I feel like the heading is almost too big a gap, and with his insane physicals, like, he's good enough to play as a central midfielder. Just needs to improve technically a lot. I'm always tempted to start just training him as maybe a box-to-box midfielder, or just something that's going to help his technicals a little bit more. Would Mazzala be a mad idea? Not really. There's quite a lot of overlap between a Mazzala and a centre mid on defend. I think we will keep training him as a Mazzala. That makes a lot of sense as a shift in duty. Alright, now the window's closed. I bet I can ask... Oh, I can't. As we're like, now I bet we can ask the board for money. Literally not the case. How have Bordeaux started the season? Let's take a quick look. They beat Caen, but then they've lost their first 3 games of the year without scoring. So, I don't know. We should be winning this comfortably, but then we did lose against Toulouse already today. So, maybe I can't be so confident. Gabels is continuing to improve in training. Very, very excited about him. So good, playing regular first-team football. Perhaps not scoring quite as many as he did last year. It was always going to be a tough pace to maintain. But given his age, he's just going to continue to improve, and it's not going to take him long, I feel like, to settle back into a rhythm and hopefully pick up a goal or 2 for us. Anyway, we've got Bordeaux. Let's see what we can do. We're yet to lose to them during our time here in charge, so we will hope we can keep that going. You can see here, Awar has got a fitness test. He's ready to play, but on 75% condition, I'm not feeling that confident. So I think what we'll do is we'll bring Danny Olmo in to play Mazzala. He can't necessarily play the role perfectly, but he's pretty well suited to it, all things considering. I'm just wondering if I want to keep playing Coman out on the wing as a winger. Part of me feels like, perhaps, I should just try him as a just as an inside forward on attack. I know it's going to be cutting in on his stronger foot, or on his weaker foot rather. Mind you, Depay's fitness isn't that great actually looking at it due to international duty. I think we'll give Trincao the nod ahead of Bertrand Traore as well. Do I want to do that? Am I sure about that? I'm doubting myself here. I mean, to be fair, Traore hasn't started the season that well, but I don't feel like Trincao's done that much better. I mean, at this point, who would you pick? I'll leave that question up to you. It's quite a satisfying pattern, isn't it, where they each edge each other by kind of one attribute in different areas. But I feel like for me, there's really not a great deal of difference between the two players at this point. It's kind of a case of they probably deserve even playing time. I think just given the current fitness situation, we'll do a few little bits of rotation. Eder Militao at right back is not great, but then again, neither is Lucas Romero looking at things. Bit of a mini dilemma here. You know what? I think this is the team we'll go with. Big day for Markovic. Is this his debut? It is. Let's see if he can make it a debut to remember. Go down in the comments now. Give me an average rating guess. What will he perform? Don't cheat. I'll know if you cheated because you'll get it right. I'm going to go now and say 7.2 in a 2-0 clean sheet win. Of course, as manager, I could go 2 goals up and then just park the bus to make sure my prediction's right, but that's not how we do things around here. We don't match fix. 2-0. I'm feeling it. It's going to happen. Now, cut to me losing 2-0. And me being right technically, but also feeling bad about it. Set piece here for Kier. Where is Markovic? Is he the man at the back post? He's not. Wallace is there. Nods it. Good save by the keeper. And Bordeaux, they managed to clear it to safety. How close was that to going over the line? I mean, you can see there. Marginal. Extremely close. The ball was cleared away, but immediately into another highlight. Toussaint, have a go. Oh my gosh, he's hit the woodwork with an absolutely crazy effort. Danger might not be over. It was, though. Fekir now. 8th minute. Chance after chance after chance. Trincao. There you go. Second goal of the season for him. A back post header. I feel like he scores way more headers than you'd expect for us. It's his second goal of the season for Kier. Lovely, lovely ball in. Breaks free of his man. Just nods it home. Not a bad little header, was it, really? We move up to 3rd. The recovery is underway. Unfortunately, PSG have won all their games to start the season, so we are already in a bit of a chasing situation, I guess you could say. Markovic getting booked as well. Not an ideal start on your debut. Don't get sent off. Don't do an Ndombele. Should I be labelling Coman record transfer, Kingsley Coman? Is that how you do things? I mean, it worked for Moise Kean. He went on to get an assist in the Champions League final. I feel like I should almost make it a thing where we just label whoever the record transfer is record transfer. Anyway, Fekir, Olmo. Where's Coman? He's out on the left-hand side somewhere. We don't need him. We're with Danny Olmo here. Trincao holding up the ball nicely inside to Gabels. Back to Fekir. There is an option. There is an option. Coman. Lovely stop by Costil in goal, to be fair. Did well to kind of parry it wide. Gone out for a corner, though. It's not over. Toussaint, edge of the box. Crack it, my lad. I mean, Markovic, have a go. Have a go, Markovic. Plays the ball to Olmo. Can he dink it into the box? It's a resounding no is the answer to that. Now Davies bringing the ball forward for them. Little bit scary to see. Cruises through Eder Militao. What a tackle that was. Now is Sanker. Avada. They're not committing too many men up the pitch here in terms of down the middle, but they've got men up in the wide areas. Now Cabot. I mean, the ball, it's not away from danger. It's only 1-0 here. Okay, now it's away from danger. Panic over. Bordeaux are yet to have a shot on target, so that's good. Trincao, oh my god, he's offside. What a header that was. I mean, I'm disappointed it's been ruled out, but can we discuss how good this header was? Normally I skip these goals, but I mean, why are we pausing it there when he makes contact with the ball? That's not how the offside rule works. Football Manager, you're drunk. I can't believe it did that. Football Manager does not know the offside rule, allegedly. Anyway, 1-0 at half-time. It's not a bad performance. It's not a great performance at the same time, really. Go tell the players I'm not happy. Markovic is on a 6.7. Hopefully he can improve that in the second half. Equally, Coman, I could do with him doing a little bit more. He did score, of course, playing inside forward. We kind of just experimented a little bit with playing him on the right-hand side previously, just because I do perhaps rate Depay slightly higher than Bertrand Traore. After Season 1, I think it was the other way around, but Depay last year did prove his worth to us. He did have the third highest average rating in the league, so I don't know. I feel like he is the MVP still out of our wingers that we have, or rather had going into the season. I feel like Coman's kind of making a name for himself. Anyway, Olmo, edge of the box. I mean, yes, please. Coman's given an assist. Don't celebrate that like you actually got the assist. That was all Danny Olmo. What a shot that was by him. Mendy throws it to Toussaint. Then with Coman, he plays it across to his partner in crime, Danny Olmo. 2 touches, third touch, bang. Right before the hour mark. That's a nice goal. Gives us a little bit of breathing room. Toussaint is one booking away from kind of picking up an accumulatory suspension. So we're going to take him off for Markovic. For Romero. And then in the final third, I'm going to bring in Moise Keane, and I'm going to bring him in for Gabels. Coman did get an assist previously. Gabels not had the best day at the office again. Moise Keane, a player we can bring on. Fresh pair of legs in the final third. Real chance to terrorise the defences. Fekir's free kick, not far wide of the post there. Good little effort by him. Fractions wide. I did wonder with Davis playing if it was Alphonso Davies. It is Alphonso Davies they've got. He's a player who I don't know how good he is after the January update, but I would love to kind of have a play with him in Football Manager and just see what I can get out of him, because it's kind of another interesting talent. Not many Canadian footballers around. It's not exactly common, is it, to see the Canadian footballers making their way to Europe on a big stage, but going to Bayern, perhaps a little bit of a label attached to him as a player to look out for in the future. Notice there, PSG equalising in their game in the 81st minute. So they're under the cosh a little bit. If they could draw, it would be points dropped. We are going to win this game here. 4 minutes of added time, all but over. 2 goals to the good. The Danny Olmo wonder strike, the pick of the 2 goals. Trincao with the other. 2 players we brought into the team really as the kind of rotation players for this match, having the impact, making the difference. And, 2-0 is how it's going to finish. Not the perfect episode in terms of, scorelines, but I feel like we got a good little result against Guingamp, who could have been a tricky team for us. It's a big result. You can see Dijon go top of the league, the only team to win their first 5 games of the season. PSG did draw indeed. So we now find ourselves only 1 point behind them. Granted, they do have significantly better goal difference there. And, now it's Fenerbahce on the horizon to start next episode, which, as a reminder, will be on Monday. We will be doing episodes Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the next 2 weeks. I apologise for the fact they're going to be more infrequent. It's just the way things have kind of worked out. Anyway, Durand conceded 3, Olmo man of the match, Shadas an assist. I mean, you can see here, good to see, by the way, Kanate back playing for Lille after that long-term layoff that he had. Big hip injury kept him out for a long, long time. We break our club's record attendance there, so good to see the stadium expansion immediately having an impact. Can we request to expand the stadium more? Apparently we can. What kind of expansion are we talking? Another 20 million. They want to expand it at the end of the current season to 65,000. What is the ground currently at? It's currently at 61,000, so that would be a good little expansion. Would not complain about that one little bit. And 20 million isn't a small amount of money, but we might even be able to cover that without taking a loan, just looking at how things are right now. We've got £96 million in the bank. Is there any other requests that would be worth making here? I don't think there is really, unless I will just check. Can we ask the board to make signings yet? I don't think we can. I feel like it's one of those ones which has quite a long kind of down period between requests. But who knows? We'll keep an eye out. There might be some good players come up. Maybe we lure Talisca back from China. I don't know if we could afford his wages, to be fair. But we can worry about that some other time, I guess. But all in all, as I said, an okay episode. That defeat against Toulouse was disappointing, but either side of it, convincing 2-goal victories. Fenerbahce, Lorient in 13th we play next time. Cannes, who are bottom of the league, and will probably also get in the Marseille game looking at things because it's a quite compact schedule. And then, well, looking further ahead, we're not really that far away from playing PSG, Lille and Monaco, who, well, last year were the 3 teams in the top 4 alongside us. But anyway, that's going to wrap up everything from me today, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy as always. If you did, do drop a like on the video. It is me, Jack, and I will catch you again next time. I'm out.